Hi all, welcome to this course. Let's have an introduction to this course. Now this is a DevOps automation tools market value and this is a source from the Coherent Market Insights. At 2023, the DevOps automation tools market was valued at around $5 billion and by 2030 it is going to be predicted to have $24 billion of market size, which is huge. As you can see, it's trending only upward. And if we look at the software testing market size as given by gminsights.com, 2023, the market size of the software testing has been around $45 billion. And by 2032, this market value is only going to be increased by $90 billion, which is huge and trending upwards as well. Now, as we notice that as DevOps tools market increases, this increases variety of tools and test automation and software testing plays an important role inside the DevOps as such. Now, let me be clear, this course doesn't require any prerequisite to start with, prerequisite about Agile and DevOps. We will learn all the steps from scratch. This program doesn't require any background of project management, automation testing, test management, but requires some basics of testing understanding. This is the only course you will ever need to learn about setting up an agile project from testing perspective taught by professional test automation specialists. This might help Scrum Masters at WinView, Scrum teams, developers, and QAs. And let me be clear that all the things that is taught in this particular course is concepts as well as step-by-step hands-on. This course covers multiple aspects of setting up Jira, Zephyr in a framework, with an emphasis on test automation. We have tried to cover basics and best practices as such, covers both UI and API tests but not limited to this, covers TestNG, Cucumber frameworks, variety of frameworks as such, covers various use cases and exhaustive demonstrations. So we'll be looking at the different insights as such. Alright, now before I click on this particular tools right now in the market, this is the whole reality. There are a lot of tools right now in the market, and as you can see, different tools do different activities. If we look at planning perspective, there are a lot of tools which is Trello, Smartsheet, Draw.io, Asana, Google Drive, Office, Dropbox. Here is where our Jira also comes into picture. Build is where your source code management also comes into picture, which is Git, GitLab, Node Package Manager, Docker, GitHub, where exactly your source code is saved. Okay, now in this particular course, we are looking at Bitbucket, which is an Atlassian product as such, and we'll be looking on how to use Bitbucket as a source code management. If we look from continuous integration perspective, there are a lot of tools available in the market as such. Selenium is where I have particularly focused in this course, where Selenium we will use UI automation Selenium, which is one of the most widely used test automation tool used in the market as such. And we will be looking at the Cucumber as well, Cucumber framework as such, which is used for API testing specifically. Now there is a deploy. If you can see this deploy happen. Now we'll be looking at Amazon Web Services, which is AWS component. We'll be looking at code pipeline, where we will be touching base on our code build as well as code deployment as such. And you can see there are operate and monitor as well, which is there are a lot of tools which are related to monitoring, which is New Relic, Splunk, Loggly, Dynatrace, and all that. So the idea to show this diagram was there are many tools in the market right now, and there are going to be many tools as such. Now enterprise solutions are little different from open source. You can see then there are some open source tools as well which gets used in the organization. Jira is one of the most sought out tool in the enterprise solutions, being considering the security as such, security aspect as such, and it's one stop shop which this course totally focuses on. So we'll be going into details of this aspect as well. All right, now this is how the continuous integration and deployment really works, and I'll just quickly give a heads up on this, that there are a couple of developers over here, and as an example I have taken Amar as one of the developer who has developed and used his local machine to do the coding, doing the software development in his, and what happens is the software is stored in a source control server, and the source control server, whatever happens, whatever changes happen, that triggers the automated platform integration test. Okay, so Fong being an automation tester, her focus is to build the automated platform integration test. So whenever the build happens, it is important to know whether the changes in the software is a fail or a success. Okay, if it's a fail, then the deployment in the further environment has to be stopped. And if it's a success, the deployment in the further environment can proceed. Based on this, the code gets deployed in the staging environment, and there are automated acceptance tests again, which will run and make sure that the result is fail or success, based on which the deployment will happen in the production environment. So this is the whole view of the continuous integration and the deployment. So that was a quick introduction of Agile, DevOps, as well as CICD in a very quick fashion at a very high level. But this will definitely help you to get a base before we start with setting up Jira, setting up Bitbucket, doing test automation, and all that aspects in this course. So stay tuned and let's proceed. Alright, so this particular course has a big roadmap and it contains a lot of details related to test automation as well as using the APIs of Jira, using the Zafire as a test automation tool or test management tool. And there are a lot of things to be covered, but I'll just quickly give an overview. We start with an introduction of DevOps, Agile, CI/CD, Sprint, Scrum teams. We go into kind of details, but at a very high level. You can see the topics that we cover about DevOps, Agile methodology, Sprint backlog, Scrum, teams as such. We'll have a look at the CI/CD. Then we will move on to Jira Cloud instance and setting up accesses, project structure, sprint backlogs, issue types, and then we'll be looking at how to create epic stories, tasks, bugs from a QA engineer perspective as well as from the Scrum Master perspective, even from the developer perspective who want to use Atlassian Jira. Then we will head on to using Jira via APIs. We'll be using REST APIs to perform operations on Jira so that it automatically gets updated. We will get into details of it on the get calls, post calls. Even we'll look at the Zephyr as an test management tool. We'll be requesting for Zephyr plugin and then we will install Zephyr. We'll use Zephyr Jira and then link the test cases. We'll do some kind of reporting as well. And this will be through UI as well as API perspective, which is kind of important. We will be looking from Zafire API perspective as well, performing operations so that your reports gets automatically generated as such. We'll look at Selenium as an automation tool. We will use the best practices. We will use Bitbucket. Bitbucket is a source code management tool of Atlassian. It comes as a package with Atlassian tools as such, and then we'll use Bitbucket to perform Git operations. We'll use AWS as one of the cloud infrastructure in this particular course, and we will create pipelines. We'll integrate with AWS and Bitbucket. We'll refactor the Selenium code using Docker. We'll use Docker concept and push the Bitbucket into integrated AWS environment. And then we will integrate everything. So we will integrate Docker with local machine, then push it into remote, use AWS cloud infrastructure, Docker as well as, and run the test. And we will use BDD Cucumber framework as such. So we will use Zephyr APIs, we will use Jira APIs, we will perform the operations on this and then perform test automation perspective. So as you can understand, this is a big course and it cannot be covered in a one particular YouTube video. But what I have done is I have given this link of a Udemy course in the description as such, and Udemy generally provides some kind of coupon on this particular course which will definitely help you and give discounts at right time as such. But in case you require coupons, I have given those details in the description as well, which will help you to get this course at a quick instance. Definitely this course contains a lot of details, but having said that, this can help the role that you are performing in your organization, be it a quality engineer or a scrum master or a product owner or a developer as such, who can definitely get help in this particular course. So stay tuned, like, share and subscribe this particular video.